Hi, this is Everett's Watercolors. Welcome to my classroom. Today I'm going to do a little drawing exercise, which I thought would be interesting. Now this is a picture of a garden tool. It's called a dual hoe rake tillage, which it's got a hoe at one end and it's got a little rake at the other. It's a little hand tool, but it's great for working in the garden, and it's one of my favorite garden tools. But I thought I'd just do a quick little sketch this morning, a little drawing, and show you how I would draw something like this. Uh, it may look a little complicated to draw this, but let me just show you a couple simple steps that I use to do a drawing. Uh, and here's one I've done already. Here's my drawing here on the. This is a drawing pad that I have, and this is a sketch that I did of this particular picture. That's my sketch. Very realistic. Well, let me show you how I get started with this, just to give you a couple pointers on drawing. Number one, I took a look at the overall shape, and I see there's actually three shapes. There's a shape here, a shape up here, and there's this long shape here. Three basic shapes that I see, and the angles. When I look at this part down here, this angle, I just take a look at the shape of the picture. Let me see, I have enough room here. I see there's a shape. It's got an angle. So I draw the outline. I just draw the outline of that shape. Draw the outline. And then there's the second shape is the one at the top. It starts about right here. And then it has an angular shape. Goes up this way. This is where the prongs are. And then this one right here goes out a bit more angle over here. And then there's an angle. There's a piece here in the middle. Goes out like this. So that defines this shape here and this shape here. And then the long handle, I look at the angle and I see the angle and it intersects right here at this corner. It starts right here. And so I get the general direction, and then the length of it, the proportion is the length of the handle. I can pretty well, it's here. I use something like this. This is about 3 times as long as this angle right here, as this size right here. So it's about 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then this has got this has a thickness to it. It starts out here thick, and there's a little about right here. There's a little section, and then there's a section of the handle. It starts out thin. There's a little widening of that, and it goes on down. And at the end, the handle's round at the end. It's round, and then there's a little section here at the end, and it's like a little square. And I can see an angle here. So that's more of a square at the end. Okay, so I got my basic shape in there. That's all I needed to see. Now I can go in and look at detail. So this first one is very simple. This has got if I look at the picture, I see these are rounded edges up here. This is rounded here at this part here, and the points here got little sharp points. So I can add those in. So this has got a rounded edge here. Now I can correct my angles and come down here. This is straight. And this is not straight across. This has got a slight angle to it, because I'm looking at it from an angle. This has a rounded edge up here, and it comes down. And this part up here, I know this is rounded here, and it's got a point, so I put little points on it, and it's a little thicker. And this one in the center. It's a little bit longer from the angle I'm looking at it. And this last one over here, it's got a rounded shape, and it goes out. It has an angle to this one, and it comes to a point. Okay, then the draw the handle. Now I can see here on the picture, it intersects with this part of this shape here. It overlaps, but there's a point. The overlapping, it shows a part of that shape behind. So that gives me an intersection that I want to capture, that part right there. And that pretty well establishes the angle that I want to use. So I can start darkening up what I'm doing now. My outline drawing just gave me a general area or general shape. Now I'm outlining a little more detail. You can see the handle here starts out narrow, then it gets a little bit wider here where you grip it with your hands, and then the end of it. So I finish that off. And this has a rounded. Now when it's rounded, I put a little curve on the shape to show that it's rounded. But then this end point is square or angular. It's angular shape. So I make that an angle. Okay. Now the next step I do at this point, I like to. This is just the basic skeleton here in the pencil. Then I take my my ink pen. These are Prismacolor ink pens, permanent ink. And I like to go ahead, now that I got the shape I like, then now I can go in and do the detail. I go in and do a nice sharp edge, get the definition I want. Now I define the corners. So here I take the pencils line that I have. I used that as a guide, but now I put in the actual shape that I'm looking at. And I can look at the photograph a little bit for reference, but really my guide now is a pencil line. I've already made my lines. I've already made my design with a pencil. So this pen and ink just kind of really makes it more definition. I like to work with pen and ink. And this one here, it's at a slight angle, so I'm going to make a small correction here with my pen. It's at a slight angle, has a rounded edge, straight line, and this is a straight line, but it's at an angle. And this has a curve at the top, and it comes down, and it's intersected by the handle. So then this part here connects at this point. The whole tool connects at this point. This is a straight line, and I come down and follow my pencil line. Pencil line is pretty accurate, so what I'm now just being more careful, get a nice straight line. And drawing a straight line takes a little practice. And remember, this is circular here, so I can make sure it's got an arc to it. And it continues on. And then the handle starts out narrow at this point, and then it starts to spread out a little bit more shape. It's a little thicker at the end. And this is also rounded. This is a round shape here, so I give it a curve. And then this end point is a square or angular. So I put those angular marks in there. Okay. So that's the drawing I did up here. This is just a replica of what I just did up here. Same thing. And then I just took, this is a number 6 round Holbein brush. I mixed up a little bit of paint, a little bit of dark blue with a little bit of Payne's gray, giving me a dark color. And I painted that in. Then I mixed up a little bit of green, mixed in with peacock blue, give me this greenish aqua color here down here. And then I put a little bit of yellow and orange to paint the tip. So that is a pretty good example of how to draw something that may be a little, not odd shape, but a little difficult shape to replicate on a piece of paper. But I show you here the 3 steps of getting the general shapes, the 3 shapes, this shape here, the shape up here, and the shape here. And then define it with a pencil, and then put some pen and ink to it, and add some color. So that's a good example of doing a simple drawing of an object. And here's an example of what I did, and here's an example of how I did it. So sign up to my YouTube channel, and subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell to be notified of my next video. I'll see you in the next video.